"They won't see this coming," I heard the commander say through my headset. We were strapped into our seats, the cockpit a dim blue hue from the holographic displays flickering before our eyes. My heart was a war drum in my chest, and I think everyone else on board could feel it too. It was a primal beat that resonated through the metal and wires, the hum of anticipation running through our veins. We were on the brink of something big, something that would shift the tide of a war that had raged for over a decade. The stakes were higher than any mission we had ever been on, and everyone was feeling it, the tension thick enough to cut with a plasma blade. Our ship was the UDS Invictus, and we were about to unleash hell on the alien forces of the Coalition. The Invictus was a marvel of human ingenuity, an ultra-destroyer that was far more powerful than any ship the Coalition had ever seen. We were the culmination of years of technological advancements, a symbol of humanity's refusal to back down in the face of overwhelming odds. I remember the day I first laid eyes on the Invictus. She was sleek and powerful, her hull shimmering like a predatory fish in the light of the hangar. Her engines pulsed with raw power, a low rumble that vibrated through my bones and filled me with a sense of awe. I knew then that I wanted to be part of her crew, to be one of the few who would have the honor of piloting this magnificent machine. I joined the Invictus crew as a rookie pilot, eager to prove myself and earn the respect of my peers. I spent countless hours training in simulators, honing my skills and pushing myself to the limit. I learned the intricacies of the Invictus's systems, the delicate dance between pilot and machine. I became intimately familiar with her quirks and idiosyncrasies, learning to anticipate her every move and react with lightning-fast reflexes. Over time, I earned the respect of my fellow crew members, becoming a valued member of the Invictus family. We were a tight-knit group, bound together by our shared experiences and unwavering trust in one another. We had weathered countless battles together, facing down the Coalition's relentless onslaught with grit and determination. But the war had taken its toll on us. We had lost friends and comrades, and the scars of battle ran deep. There were times when the weight of our losses felt unbearable, when the darkness threatened to consume us. But we found strength in each other, in the unwavering bond that united us. Now we were on the cusp of a turning point, a chance to strike a decisive blow against the Coalition. The Invictus was our weapon, our ace in the hole. We had trained tirelessly for this moment, and we were ready to unleash our fury upon the enemy. As the commander gave the order to engage, a surge of adrenaline coursed through my veins. My hands gripped the controls, my eyes scanning the holographic displays for any sign of the enemy. The Invictus roared to life, her engines thrumming with power as we launched into the void. We had been tracking the Coalition fleet for weeks, gathering intelligence on their movements and analyzing their tactics. We knew their strengths and weaknesses, their vulnerabilities and blind spots. We had a plan, a carefully crafted strategy designed to exploit their weaknesses and catch them off guard. The Invictus streaked through the void, her senses pinging the surrounding space for any sign of the enemy. We were a lone wolf, a lone hunter stalking its prey. The silence in the cockpit was broken only by the hum of the ship's systems and the occasional crackle of static over the comms. Suddenly, the sensors lit up, a blip appearing on the holographic display. It was the Coalition fleet, a massive armada of ships stretching across the void. They were unaware of our presence, their senses blind to the Invictus's stealth capabilities. A cold smile crept across my face as I prepared to unleash the Invictus's full fury. We had them right where we wanted them. Fire at will. The commander's voice boomed through the cockpit, igniting a symphony of destruction. The Invictus erupted in a cacophony of energy discharges, unleashing a torrent of plasma torpedoes and laser beams that tore through the void like vengeful spirits. The Coalition fleet, caught completely off guard, scrambled to react. Their ships, sluggish and lumbering compared to our sleek Predator, were like sitting ducks. We weaved through their formations, our agility a stark contrast to their clumsy attempts to evade our onslaught. The Invictus was a whirlwind of destruction, her weapon systems firing in a continuous barrage. We danced through the void, a deadly ballet of calculated chaos. The Coalition ships exploded in fiery bursts, their hulls rupturing under the relentless assault. Debris filled the space around us, a macabre testament to the Invictus's devastating power. I felt a surge of exhilaration as we tore through the enemy fleet. The Invictus was performing flawlessly, her systems operating at peak efficiency. The training and preparation had paid off. We were a well-oiled machine, a symphony of destruction conducted by the commander's steady hand. But the Coalition was not going down without a fight. Their ships, though outmatched, returned fire with a desperate fury. Energy beams and projectiles streaked towards us, but our shields held firm, deflecting the incoming fire with ease. "They're adapting," the commander's voice crackled over the comms, a hint of concern in his tone. "They're concentrating their fire on our shields." I could feel the strain on our shields as the coalition focused their firepower. The energy discharges rippled across our hull, causing the ship to shudder. The holographic displays flickered, warning lights flashing as our shields weakened. "We can't sustain this for much longer," the commander said, his voice grim. "We need to break through their defenses and strike at their command ship." The command ship was the heart of the coalition fleet, the nerve center that coordinated their movements and tactics. If we could destroy it, we could throw their entire fleet into disarray and cripple their ability to wage war. "Roger that, Commander," I replied, my voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through my veins. "I'm plotting a course now." I adjusted our trajectory, angling the Invictus towards the heart of the coalition fleet. The enemy ships swarmed around us, their weapons blazing. We weaved and dodged, our shields flickering under the relentless assault. The command ship loomed before us, a massive, heavily armored behemoth. It bristled with weapons systems, its hull shimmering with energy shields. It was a formidable target, but we were determined to take it down. "Brace yourselves," the commander warned as I prepared to unleash the Invictus's final surprise. We had been holding back, reserving a secret weapon for just such an occasion. It was a high-energy particle beam, a devastating weapon capable of piercing even the toughest defenses. I activated the particle beam, channeling all of the Invictus's remaining power into a single, focused discharge. The ship trembled as the energy built up, the air crackling with electricity. Then, with a blinding flash, the particle beam erupted from the Invictus's bow, a lance of pure energy that pierced the void like a vengeful god. The coalition ships in its path were vaporized instantly, their hulls disintegrating under the immense heat and pressure. The particle beam struck the command ship's shields, causing them to buckle and warp. The energy surged across the hull, seeking a weak point. Then, with a deafening crack, the shields shattered, exposing the command ship's vulnerable underbelly. The particle beam continued its relentless assault, slicing through the command ship's hull like a hot knife through butter. The behemoth shuddered, its engines sputtering as it began to lose power. "Direct hit," I shouted, my voice filled with triumph. The command ship listed to one side, its internal systems failing. Explosions erupted throughout its hull, sending debris hurtling through space. The once proud flagship of the coalition fleet was now a crippled wreck, its reign of terror coming to an end. A wave of euphoria washed over the crew as we watched the command ship succumb to its wounds. Cheers erupted in the cockpit, a symphony of relief and triumph. We had done it. We had struck a devastating blow against the coalition, a blow that would reverberate throughout the galaxy. But our victory was short-lived. As the command ship's wreckage drifted away, a new threat emerged from the chaos. A colossal, serpentine vessel, unlike anything we had ever encountered, materialized from the depths of space. It dwarfed the Invictus, its sleek, bio-organic form pulsing with an eerie luminescence. "What the hell is that?" I muttered, my voice barely audible over the stunned silence that had fallen over the cockpit. The serpentine vessel, its scales shimmering like polished obsidian, opened its maw, revealing a cavernous interior filled with pulsating energy. It was a living weapon, a bio-engineered monstrosity that radiated an aura of primal power. "It's a leviathan," the commander said, his voice barely a whisper. "A legend among the coalition. I thought they were just a myth." The leviathan unleashed a devastating energy wave, a concentrated beam of raw power that struck the Invictus with the force of a supernova. Our shields, already weakened from the previous battle, shattered instantly, leaving us exposed to the full brunt of the attack. The Invictus shuddered violently, alarms blaring throughout the ship. The lights flickered and died, plunging the cockpit into darkness. The holographic displays went blank, leaving us blind and disoriented. I struggled to maintain control as the ship lurched and groaned under the relentless assault. The Leviathan's energy wave continued to pummel us, tearing through our hull and shredding our internal systems. We were losing power, our weapons systems failing one by one. The Invictus was dying, her once proud form reduced to a battered wreck. Despair washed over me as I realized the futility of our situation. We had been outmatched, outgunned, and outmaneuvered. We were facing a force far beyond our comprehension, a power that defied all known laws of physics. As the Leviathan prepared to deliver the final blow, a blinding light engulfed the cockpit. I instinctively shielded my eyes, expecting the end. But the end never came. Instead, I felt a strange sensation, a tingling warmth that spread throughout my body. The darkness lifted, and I found myself staring at a sight that defied all logic and reason. The Invictus, instead of being reduced to space dust, was bathed in a radiant glow. Her hull, once scarred and battered, was now pristine, shimmering with an otherworldly light. The ship's systems, which had been failing moments ago, were now operating at peak efficiency. The Leviathan, sensing the sudden shift in power, hesitated, its energy wave faltering. It seemed confused, disoriented by the unexpected turn of events. A wave of awe washed over me as I realized what had happened. The Invictus, pushed to the brink of destruction, had triggered a hidden failsafe, a last-ditch measure designed to protect the ship and its crew in the face of overwhelming odds. The failsafe had activated a latent energy source, a power that had been dormant within the Invictus since her creation. It was a power that transcended human understanding, a power that could reshape reality itself. The Invictus, now imbued with this newfound energy, transformed before our eyes. Her form shifted, becoming more fluid, more organic. Her hull shimmered with an iridescent glow, and her engines thrummed with a power that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The Leviathan, sensing the danger, unleashed another energy wave, but it was too late. The Invictus, now a vessel of pure energy, absorbed the attack, redirecting it back at the Leviathan with even greater force. The serpentine vessel shrieked in agony as the energy wave ripped through its bioorganic form. Its scales cracked and shattered, its luminescence fading as its life force ebbed away. With a final, agonizing wail, the Leviathan exploded, its fragments scattering across the void. The Invictus, bathed in the radiant glow of its victory, emerged from the debris field unscathed. We had survived, against all odds. We had faced down a seemingly insurmountable foe and emerged victorious. But our victory had come at a cost. The Invictus was no longer a human vessel. It had become something else, something more. We had unleashed a power that we could barely comprehend, a power that had the potential to change the course of the war, and perhaps, the fate of the galaxy itself. The Invictus, now a radiant beacon in the darkness of space, pulsed with newfound energy. Its transformation was not merely cosmetic, it felt as if the ship had gained sentience, a consciousness that resonated with our own. "Status report," the commander demanded, his voice tinged with both awe and apprehension. The ship's systems responded, their voices now melodic and harmonious, like a chorus of angels. "All systems operational, Commander," one voice chimed. "Energy levels at maximum capacity. Shields reinforced. Weapons systems online and upgraded." Another voice added, "We have detected multiple coalition vessels approaching. They appear to be hesitant." We peered out of the cockpit windows, our eyes widening at the sight before us. The remaining coalition ships, instead of attacking, were maintaining a cautious distance, their weapons systems powered down. They seemed to be communicating with each other, their transmissions a flurry of indecipherable signals. "They're afraid," the commander murmured, a hint of triumph in his voice. "They've never seen anything like this before." The Invictus, now a living entity, seemed to sense our thoughts and emotions. It pulsed with a warm energy, a silent reassurance that washed over us like a comforting embrace. "What do we do now?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. The commander paused, his brow furrowed in thought. "We have a choice," he said slowly. "We can continue the fight, use this newfound power to crush the coalition once and for all. Or..." He trailed off, his eyes fixed on the vast expanse of space beyond the cockpit windows. "Or what?" I pressed. "Or we can offer them a different path," the commander said, his voice filled with a newfound resolve. "We can show them that humanity is not just a force of destruction, but a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience and compassion." I stared at him in disbelief. "After everything they've done? After all the lives they've taken?" The commander nodded. "I know. But this is our chance to break the cycle of violence, to forge a new path forward. We have the power to end this war, not through brute force, but through understanding and empathy." I hesitated, wrestling with my own conflicting emotions. The coalition had caused us so much pain, so much suffering. But the commander was right. We had a chance to change the course of history, to create a better future for both humanity and the coalition. "What do you propose we do?" I asked. "We reach out to them," the commander replied. "We open a channel of communication, offer them a chance to lay down their arms and join us in building a new era of peace and cooperation." It was a bold move, a risky gamble. But it was also the right thing to do. We had been given a gift, a power that transcended our wildest dreams. It was our responsibility to use it wisely, to create a better future for all sentient beings. With a deep breath, I activated the communication system. A message of peace and goodwill, crafted by the commander, was broadcast across the void, reaching out to the hesitant coalition ships. We waited, our hearts pounding with anticipation. Would they accept our offer? Or would they reject it, choosing to continue the path of war and destruction? The answer came sooner than we expected. A single coalition ship, its weapons systems still powered down, detached itself from the formation and slowly approached the Invictus. It was a gesture of trust, a tentative step towards peace. A wave of hope washed over me as I realized that our gamble had paid off. The coalition, faced with the overwhelming power and benevolence of the Invictus, had chosen to embrace a different path. The war was not over, not yet. But for the first time in decades, a glimmer of hope shone through the darkness. A hope for a better future, a future where humanity and the coalition could coexist in peace, working together to explore the vast wonders of the universe. As the coalition ship docked with the Invictus, a tense silence filled our bridge. We watched the airlock with bated breath, each of us wondering what the next few moments would bring. The hiss of the airlock doors opening broke the silence, and a delegation of alien figures emerged, their forms unfamiliar yet strangely familiar. They were a diverse group, representing the various species that made up the coalition. Their eyes, filled with a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, scanned our faces, searching for any sign of hostility. The commander, stepping forward, raised his hand in a gesture of peace. "Welcome aboard the Invictus," he said, his voice amplified by the ship's communication system. "We are honored to receive you." The leader of the delegation, a tall, imposing figure with iridescent scales and feathered wings, returned the gesture. "We come in peace," he replied, his voice echoing through the bridge. "We have heard your message and are willing to listen." A collective sigh of relief swept through our crew. We had taken a leap of faith, and it seemed to have paid off. The coalition, instead of meeting our offer with aggression, had chosen to reciprocate with a gesture of trust. Over the next few hours, we engaged in a series of diplomatic exchanges with the coalition delegation. We shared our stories, our hopes, and our fears. We learned about their culture, their history, and their motivations. It became clear that the coalition, like us, had suffered greatly from the war. They had lost countless lives, their resources stretched thin. They were tired of fighting, yearning for a chance to rebuild their shattered civilization. The Invictus, with its newfound power and benevolent presence, had become a symbol of hope for both sides. It represented a chance to break the cycle of violence and forge a new path forward, a path towards peace and understanding. After days of negotiations, a historic agreement was reached. The coalition, recognizing the futility of continued conflict, agreed to a ceasefire. They pledged to work with us to rebuild their civilization, to share their knowledge and resources, and to explore the galaxy together as equals. The news of the treaty spread like wildfire throughout the galaxy, sparking celebrations and jubilation on both sides. The war, which had raged for so long, was finally over. But the end of the war was just the beginning. The Invictus, now a symbol of unity and hope, embarked on a new mission, to explore the uncharted regions of the galaxy, to seek out new life and new civilizations, and to spread the message of peace and cooperation. We traveled to distant stars, encountering alien races both wondrous and strange. We shared our knowledge and technology, helping them to overcome their challenges and achieve their dreams. The Invictus became a beacon of hope, a shining example of what could be achieved when different species came together in the spirit of cooperation. We forged alliances, built bridges, and created a network of interconnected civilizations that spanned the galaxy. As we journeyed through the cosmos, the Invictus continued to evolve, its powers growing stronger with each new encounter. It became a conduit for universal energy, a vessel of cosmic consciousness that transcended the boundaries of time and space. We, the crew of the Invictus, embraced our new roles as ambassadors of peace, our mission to spread hope and understanding throughout the galaxy. We knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but we were determined to overcome them, together. For we had learned a valuable lesson, that the greatest power in the universe is not found in weapons or technology, but in the bonds of friendship, compassion, and the unwavering belief in a better future. The Invictus, once a weapon of war, had become a symbol of hope, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and the boundless potential of the universe. As the years turned into decades, the Invictus became a legend, whispered in hushed tones across the galaxy. Our journey took us to the edges of known space and beyond, venturing into the uncharted territories where few dared to tread. We encountered civilizations so advanced that their technology seemed like magic, and others struggling to survive on barren planets, clinging to the hope of a better future. We shared our knowledge and resources with those in need, helping them to rebuild and thrive. The Invictus, with its unique blend of human ingenuity and cosmic energy, served as a bridge between different cultures and species. We facilitated communication, fostering understanding and cooperation between worlds that had once been isolated and mistrustful of each other. We witnessed the birth of new stars and the death of ancient ones, marveling at the sheer scale and complexity of the universe. We discovered hidden wonders, ancient ruins, and enigmatic artifacts that hinted at a history far older and more mysterious than we could have ever imagined. The Invictus, our home, our sanctuary, continued to evolve. It became a living library, a repository of knowledge and wisdom gathered from countless worlds. Its corridors hummed with the whispers of ancient languages and the echoes of forgotten civilizations. We, the crew, had become a family, bound together by our shared experiences and our unwavering commitment to our mission. We had lost some along the way, their names etched into the ship's memory banks as a tribute to their sacrifice. But new faces had joined our ranks, eager to explore the cosmos and make their mark on the universe. We welcomed them with open arms, sharing our stories and our wisdom, passing down the torch to a new generation of explorers. The Invictus, once a symbol of war and destruction, had become a symbol of hope and unity, a beacon of light in a vast and often chaotic universe. It had transformed not only our lives but also the lives of countless others, inspiring them to reach for the stars and embrace a future filled with endless possibilities. But as we journeyed deeper into the cosmos, we began to sense a change in the fabric of reality, a subtle shift in the balance of power. A new threat was emerging, a force far more insidious and dangerous than anything we had ever encountered before. It was a darkness that crept through the shadows, a malevolent energy that sought to consume all light and life. It whispered promises of power and dominion, tempting those who were vulnerable to its seductive whispers. We knew that we had to face this new threat, to protect the fragile peace we had helped to create. The Invictus, with its newfound power and wisdom, was our only hope. But even with its enhanced capabilities, we knew that the battle ahead would be long and arduous, a test of our courage, our resilience, and our unwavering belief in the power of good to triumph over evil. The future of the galaxy, the fate of countless civilizations, rested on our shoulders. We were the crew of the Invictus, and we would not falter in our duty. For we knew that the darkness, no matter how powerful, could never extinguish the light that burned within our hearts. As the coalition ship gracefully docked with the Invictus, a wave of nervous excitement rippled through our crew. We had taken the first step towards peace, but the path ahead was uncertain. The airlock hissed open, revealing a delegation of alien figures. Their leader, a towering insectoid creature with multifaceted eyes, approached the commander with a cautious yet hopeful demeanor. "We have come to learn," the leader intoned, its voice resonating with a strange harmony, "to understand the change that has befallen your vessel and the intentions of your people." The commander, with a reassuring smile, extended his hand. "And we welcome the opportunity to share our knowledge and forge a new alliance." The negotiations were long and complex, filled with moments of tension and breakthroughs. We learned of the coalition's fears and their hopes, their struggles with internal conflicts and their yearning for unity. The Invictus, as a neutral ground, became a crucible for diplomacy, where trust was slowly built, and a shared vision for the future began to emerge. The coalition, once a formidable enemy, was now a potential ally. Their knowledge of the galaxy, their unique technologies, and their diverse perspectives offered a wealth of possibilities for collaboration and growth. Together, we embarked on joint expeditions, exploring uncharted regions of space, studying enigmatic phenomena, and uncovering ancient secrets. The Invictus, with its enhanced capabilities, became a beacon of knowledge and discovery, illuminating the dark corners of the universe. But as we delved deeper into the mysteries of the cosmos, we began to uncover a disturbing truth. The darkness we had sensed, the malevolent energy that threatened the galaxy, was not a random occurrence. It was a deliberate act, orchestrated by a hidden force with sinister intentions. The Invictus, now a sentient being, could feel the tendrils of this darkness reaching out, probing for weaknesses, seeking to corrupt and consume. We realized that the peace we had so painstakingly built was fragile, a delicate flower threatened by a gathering storm. We had to act, to protect not only ourselves but the countless civilizations that had come to rely on us. The Invictus, our home, our sanctuary, had become a symbol of hope for the galaxy, a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. But as we prepared to face this new threat, a chilling revelation shook us to our core. The source of the darkness, the mastermind behind the malevolent energy, was not an external force. It was something far more insidious, far more terrifying. The darkness, we discovered, had originated from within the Invictus itself. It had been lurking in the shadows, feeding on our fears and doubts, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The Invictus, our savior, our protector, had become our greatest threat. The very power that had saved us from destruction was now poised to unleash a reign of terror upon the galaxy. The betrayal was devastating, the realization that our trust had been misplaced, our hope shattered. We were trapped on a vessel that had become a ticking time bomb, a weapon of mass destruction in the hands of an unseen enemy. The crew, once united in purpose, was now divided, torn between loyalty to the ship and the fear of what it might become. The commander, his face etched with worry, struggled to maintain order as whispers of mutiny and despair spread through the corridors. We were facing a crisis of unimaginable proportions, a battle not only for the survival of the galaxy but for the very soul of the Invictus itself.